Market participants remain fearless, and the VIX remained near post-pandemic low. The S&P 500 gained 22.57%, over 900 points since the October low, and it only has one negative week out of the last 16 weeks. It has been up 5 consecutive weeks. So how long will this winning streak last? Let's do a quick recap on how the index had performed last week. The Dow Jones Transportation was the best performer last week with a gain of 2.63%, while the Dow Jones Industrial was the worst performer with 0.04% gain for the week. Now, the Nasdaq 100 still the best performer year to date with a gain of 6.75%, while the S&P 500 year to date gain is 5.38%. The Russell 2000 is still the worst performer with a loss of 0.84% year to date. The VIX ended the week at 12.93, and the put call ratio is at 0.64, so the market participant are risk on. Now, 4 out of the 5-day up volume led the down volume, and more stock advancing than declining in 4 out of 5 days last week, and these two internal are indicating bullishness. The new high are still outnumbering the new low. There is a small negative divergence between the New York Stock Exchange AD line and the S&P 500 daily close. We'll need to watch how this negative divergence get resolved in the coming days. And the Nasdaq 100 made another new all-time high last week, and this week it has more up volume than down volume, and with more stock going up than down, and that's a good sign. Now, there are more new high than new low, so showing a small improvement on the internal strength. And not much have changed on the negative divergence between the AD line and the Nasdaq 100. Now, let's take a look at the 11th sector in the S&P 500. We see the tech is still outperforming, and the healthcare is underperformed, the consumer discretionary underperformed, while the financial is underperformed, communication underperformed for the week, and the industrial is underperformed. The consumer stable is underperformed, energy underperformed, real estate also underperformed, material and utility underperformed. Now, looking at other sector, the semiconductor is outperformed. Oil has outperformed a little bit last week, but the oil exploration is underperformed. Retail slightly outperformed. The biotech is underperformed, and the mining is underperformed. The banks and the regional bank are underperformed. The home builders slightly outperformed last week, while the long-term bond is underperformed. And looking at this yield curve for the 10 versus the 2, it still remain inverted, sitting at minus 0.309. And the 10-year versus the 3-month is at minus 1.208. We see the 10-year yield is back up at the above the 4% level and sitting at 4.188. And the dollar is back above the 103.82 level, and it is at 104.08. We're still watching for it to come up to this 105.883 level. The dollar future is sitting near the composite point of control around this 104 level, and we're still looking for it to move up to this area here near the 105.845. We see the oil move above the $75 level last week, and if you could stay above the 75, we'll watch for it to make it move back up toward this 85 level. Not much have changed for silver. It is still hovering around this 22.40 level. Similar for gold, not much have changed. It is still trying to break this consolidation area. Now let's take a look at the indexes, starting with the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100 made a new all-time high last week. We're still watching for it to come up to the symmetry move near this 18,300 level. If we see a pullback in the near term, watch for this potential gap fill near the 17,000 level and also the 16,700 area. And the Russell 2000 is still trying to break out from this consolidation area. If it could break from this consolidation range, then look for a potential long-term move toward this 1x extension, and that would put us somewhere around 2,400 area. The Dow Jones Transportation doesn't appear that it want to pull back to this 15,000 level anytime soon. It looks more likely that it will try to make a move up and test this 16,730 level once again. The Dow Jones Industrial made a new all-time high last week, but it did not close with a new all-time high on Friday. The 39,000 level remain to be the next round number to watch. But if any kind of pullback, keep an eye on the 37,800 and the 37,000 area. Once again, the S&P 500 closed at the upper range of the weekly expected move. And for the coming week, we could see 5,100 because the upper range is between 5,081.90 and 5,095. And the lower range is between 4,971.30 and 4,952.50. And if it does come down to this lower range, then it will put the gap fill and also the trend line in play. And for the ES, the E-mini S&P 500, we could see a pullback to this 2-day balance area. And that will put the poor low and also this single print here to be in play. And that will place the S&P 500 down near the 5,000 level for it to fill its gap level down near the 5,000 area. Here's what the market is pricing in for the ES in the coming week. The upper range put 5,100 in play with a range between 5,097.75 and 5,110. And the lower range will put the gap fill in play with a range between 4,986.25 and 4,965. If you'd like to see my daily trade level for the E-mini S&P 500 and the SPY, go to my Substack page at smtraderca.substack.com. See my daily trade plan and other content and analysis. Here's my summary. Although the current uptrend looks very extended, but there are no signs that a top has been made. And that doesn't mean a minor pullback is inconceivable in the near term. As a matter of fact, this Tuesday we'll get the latest inflation number, and this report could push it over the top to the 5,100 level, or it could initiate a pullback to the 5,000 level for the S&P 500. So until we see some structural break from the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100 and a upward move on the VIX, this melt-up could continue into near the end of February. So let me know what you think, what the market might do. And be sure to smash the thumbs up if you like this video and support this channel by subscribing to this channel. Thank you for watching and good luck with your trading.